Well, couple of fights taken in this early round is it's a stalemate encouraged outside. ZTR takes a couple of taps backs away, and Jaquinho taps away Noten for the first kill of the game. Percy will trade it back out, so not getting too far out of hand, says the young ninjas. We continue to take fights across the map. A smoke blooms in through mini, but the T's show absolutely no respect to it and boast onto the bomb site with nobody in front of them. Meaning we're looking at ourselves a 4v4 post plant. This might start to favor the side of LPSP. There's not really any smokes to go around. Now there is, as it looks like Sapich has been able to recover one over in CT spawn. And I assume that's going to be going on the paint can as soon as this one fades over in heaven. Kit on Rolf, and they still eagerly just sit back and play the time as much as they possibly can, right? With that kit, you can give yourselves a little more of a liberty in getting back into this. Maybe not ideas would have been better utilized on top of the bomb, but now they got to play protect the president and hope nobody comes in. And a couple more players sit behind them, still trying to. Oh, wait, how does he get it off? CTR gets the only key. Once again, look to run it back down secret. They weren't stopped last time, so you can't blame him for trying it again. Jaquinho dumps in the Molotov before they continue to put pressure in his face, though he'll at least walk away with one. More success than what ZTR found in the previous, but still not going to be enough to secure the round just yet. Percy puts him in a comfortable spot as they still look to continue and hit the slower site. It's a beautiful MP9 too. I love this one. Even though like everybody and their brother uses it, it's pretty decent. Well, as they take their sweet time, he takes the opportunity to get in a more tucked position on this lower bomb site, get closer with this SMG, give himself more of a fighting chance, as the indecisiveness could really cost LPSP in the later portions of this round. 2 people on the A site by the side of the young ninjas, so it's honestly not that bad of a defense. Rolf gonna jiggle in through outside. Native Sapphics may have caught a timing in through garage, but they're gonna be walking in mini. Couple of T's clearing out angles, looking the wrong way though, drops the bomb, and now we have Rolf even coming back in for more, but Sapich is doubled down 30 seconds, and with the bomb lying on the ground, it leaves all to be desired. At least if you're the side of young ninjas who even look for more. Sapich eager to try to find this third kill. Swinging on the other side of the Molotov as Rolf's going to end it off from Jaquinho's AWP. The man who's on a technical trial for the main roster has yet to chirp up that loudly in this matchup. They're just going to go for an all-out balls to the walls. A hit. Rolf, perfect util usage. Drops 2 on the FAMAS. And the low-cost, or the low-cost rifle is what's the undoing of LPSP, apparently. Yeah, no, the A rushes like that, they don't really benefit you as the T side. I mean, I like the change of pace. This entire game, they've been having this super slow and passive default that the young ninjas maybe have been prepping for and have adjusted to, right? Taking a little more time to set up now, being easy with it, but no, they play their own game. They don't let that get in their heads, and because of it, they're going to win this round perfectly clean. Sapich, he's being toyed with right now by the lobby defender who looks to just continuously keep his presence here. Now they come wrapping in through mini, but they haven't cleared out ZTR, and they walk into the crossfire of the young ninjas. Not a single kill is answered back for. 2 on 5, and Noten, he's completely separated from his teammate. I could say the pack, but it's not much of one. Going all the way around through heaven. Percy's been spotted too. ZTR will triple up. And he made a big blunder in the previous round. Gave them CT control and gave them an avenue back into it. But this time, he's the one ripping the opportunities away as it's left to Noten in a 1v5. He continues to pepper in some bullets through the second vent smoke. And everybody's posted up here for the young ninjas. He shouldn't be allowed any least of life in this round. And there it is. I think there was a flashbang. Well, they go right back into lobby, and this is not going to benefit them at all because Jaquinho, with his Tier 1 experience, knows that if things go quiet, you may want to jiggle in to get a little more information, which he'll find as he spotted nobody here. LNZ, beautiful clear, instantly takes down Percy, and it was a good angle from him, right? The Deagle could have potentially had a 1D there and given them a lease of life into this round, but no, LNZ's clear is just too good to triple down the bomb drop, and it looks like once again, we may have a stellar, squeaky clean round from the side of the young ninjas on the defense. Maybe a kill can come back, but no, never. Notice though, the young ninjas have disposed so much utility in the early rounds. They're gonna throw this one smoke they have towards outside to try to cross down secret, a good 1-for-1 trade, as Jaquinho only wields 1 with the AWP as of now. They come flying down to the slower bomb site, and SMF with his 1D, or at least Deagle tries to make some more happen. Magic, though, not going to strike twice. Native Sapphics wields that Desert Eagle, and he's going to have to do everything by himself. A lot of damage inflicted onto this ramp player, and he should be able to get the bomb down, which is a big deal on a round like this. considering it's one of the worst buys we've seen from them this entire game. It's respectable to come out with something like this. Beta Sapix, who's back in. Can't hit the shot, and Rolf. We've seen this from LPSP yet. And they'll take an engagement outside that nobody will win or come out triumphantly in. Takes another pop shot as he dances around the silo, but he won't miss it 3 times. Lightning may strike once or twice, but 3 times, absolutely not. ZTR doubles down to try to bring something back for the side of the Ninjas, but they're still down by 1 man. And now they're just trying to lay the uncertainty into the young squad. With a couple of flashes popping in late towards outside, LNZ and Sapich look to retake this map control. But as it all goes quiet, Rolf looks to double back in. Nada Sapix, though, laser sharp with the AWP, it seems, past the opening couple of whiffs. And Percy will end it a bit more aggressive. No, just sits and tucks into the corner. And this is really good from the Young Ninjas, because LPSP haven't put too much early round presence here. They can just set themselves up and establish this retake, or at least the potential to retake the A side if things go wrong on that side of the map. But shouldn't have to worry, right? The last time LPSP just went for a full-on upper take, it didn't bode well for them. They're still waiting out this ramp smoke because you can't find success on this map as a T without map control. So I like the play. Just keep it slow, keep it steady, but so does ZTR. He keeps his spray steady to find that frag onto Wagner. They need to continuously bring some picks back for LPSP. We haven't seen them work from this much of a disadvantage just yet, or at least successfully so, but maybe now the record will change as Jaquinho's op falls, arguably the biggest weapon of this round and of this game for the Young Ninjas, now not going to be there to support them when they arguably need it the most. LNZ, I don't know if he's been spotted tucked into the Astralis corner, but he'll be able to walk away with the kill even if he was. Doubles down, leaving it all up to Nada Sapix in the 1v4. His op needs to once again strike some magic for that, and it is still somehow this close. If one more player stepped up, you gotta wonder, what would this half look like for them? Would the Young Ninjas be wielding a lead? Would it be anywhere near a Young Ninjas affair? Would they be shut down? That's what I think would happen. But it's left to interpretation. As they once again wheeled outside control, now jump down into Seek, where ZTR is eagerly waiting with the A1S, only good for 1, but that's Nada Sapix, the big fragger of the side of LPSP. That 1v1 engagement needs more than you could ever expect. Noten coming down the vent. Somehow that first shot wasn't a 1D, but Sapich still can't react in time, and Jaquinho's come down next up with the AWP. Nade bounces into it. Might be the end of SMF. Well, it won't be, but Rolf will make sure that one person is. And there comes Jaquinho striking once more. It's all up to Noten with a 1-on-3. Has to bring it under his belt. There's really no more time to capitalize on this half. LPSP, though, I mean, 6 rounds is respectable against the side of the Young Ninjas, right? You walk into the next half, you pick up the pistol, you get the gimme round that you're supposed to have past that, and we're still tied up with them. Convincing. They took that series 2-1 against the Hellraisers. It looks like it's going to be a fast play from the Ninjas into ramp room. We saw a lot. LPSP tried to take this control of the map, and it worked out for them. But for the Young Ninjas, couldn't be further from the truth. Instantly shut down with 3 quick kills coming through from the side of the defense, and only 1 comes back. Key players need to wake up because, as I said, Nada Sapix is floating on an island of his own. With 15 kills, nobody's really come close to that on the server for LPSP. Couple of eco frags should be farmed up. They hear all the footsteps pitter-pattering down to the lower bomb site, and this MP9 looks to stop any sort of bomb plant shenanigans from coming through, as it should be a squeaky clean round from the side of LPSP. Jumping in is per. Good util usage from the side of LPSP keeps them at bay till at the bare minimum 40 seconds. Even a smoke now dumped in, so they aren't going towards the B site, and they can safely ensure that for themselves. But running out of util over at the opposite side of the map means their weapons are going to have to get a couple of multi-frags. And so far, they've done well as SMF looks to double down. What was that shot? 180s to find Sapich. It's left to ZTR, and he started this round. Rolf finally changes the equation in the favor of the Young Ninjas as they take a quick opener and outside. But a trade comes quickly back through. Wagner, a shot through the smoke. Well, he's taking a bit of a scraping over down to 50 health. He'll ensure that it's still a 4-on-4, and the Young Ninjas look to regroup at that part of the map. Smoke coming through, blocking the vision for a little bit of time, but it doesn't look like LNZ cares to show any respect over to it. In fact, jumping straight on top of the Redman. And he'll call over to his teammates. Hey, guys. Nobody's looking. They have no idea. Well, they want to wrap into Mini, but LNZ, if this flash isn't perfectly placed, then he'll be in for a world of hurt, though. Wagner's heard him jumping into garage. He's definitely given the call over to his teammates, and he still sits in the corner. So maybe just positioning himself here to hold for the flank that may come through in the later portions of the round. That's another player at least spotted out for with the flash coming through. LNZ, he falls, and Wagner doubles up with the low health that he's got on him. Now to Sapix with the AWP, tries to jiggle in for the frag. Molotov thrown in, and Rolf's going to try to push the equation. Barely able to escape. Now going back in for that frag. Wields another shot for Nato Sapix. And it's 2v3 with the bomb going down. SMF locks in another kill. Then, well, it'll stop the avenue of single door from being taken, but it's on Noten, so he's going to have to dump that in ramp room. Got to line up for a site take here shortly, though, fellas. 30 seconds left on the clock, and they are going towards ramp. That's not good. Gonna drop the smoke flash combo as they all have to come sprinting through it. There's no time to show respect to it, but thankfully for them, they're able to walk away with the kill unscathed as they dive down to the lower bomb site. Percy's the first line of defense, looks in the first kill, but it's just a low HP player in Rolf. Chiquinho's got a good trade, and there's a real chance for the Young Ninjas in this round as they look to encompass that player in from Secret, rather, from the control room. 5 seconds left. 3. They're able to punch in the digits at the very last second, but still not the greatest. Nato Sapix, if he finds one more kill, it's good. Then maybe their overpass can shine through the darkness that is currently this series for them. Going to try to go into the ramp from Nato Sapix. Spots 2 of them out, one of them being the jump spot. Molotov dumped in, and he's about to be pressured big time over at the lower site. Sapich walks into a 1v1 gunfight. And as the op strikes first, they look to change their plans into CT. They go. Rolf going to take first contact. A1 has to try and counter, or no. They backed away, and it looks like Percy isn't going to be shying away from the engagement. Takes a couple of bullets. And now as the health continues to drop ever so much slower for the Young Ninjas members, they have to commit into the lower site. They have to go for a B play. They want to go through this ramp smoke. But I don't know how many favors that's going to be dealing them. Noten sits behind the site on the Bather is not yet spotted, and they haven't called it over yet either. A miscommunication allows him a big multi-kill. It's a 5v2, and the bomb's been dropped there too, so it's not like they can reconsider their alternatives. It's either save or, I don't know, just go running and charge into your death with a war cry behind it. Chiquinho in a 1-on-4, and SMF quickly shuts it down. Nothing to be made him into the site, and if they've got some well-placed flashes behind him, then who knows what they can walk away with. But Wagner playing anti-flash on the Raptors, not preparing for 2 or 3 of them to come blooming into his face. SMF still sits at the back of the site, and now it looks like they're in a very favorable distance. So the bomb's dropped in the middle of it. Percy brings back 2. And a Molotov in heaven, still yet to be extinguished. The paint can Molotov, or smoke, should be able to do that. Still yet to recover the bomb. And Noten, he's just going to try to be a nuisance here. Molly dropped onto single, and Nato Sapix now joins up with his teammate who's in mini. As they hear the digits being punched in at the back of the silo, they know where at least one of these players is. Now Percy isolates yet another kill. A triple for him as he looks to work more. He spotted a footstep at the back of the site, and now Noten looks to... Not to be discouraged by the beginning of the previous round, SMF goes forward for the opening pick, traded by Chiquinho, who won't let it get that far out of hand. But he's not doing so hot himself, with one bullet being the separation between him and falling. It looks like LPSP have an indication that they should make an aggressive play into the ramp room. And it's a good read because nobody's here right now for Young Ninjas, and they're going to continue to lurk up in on this flank. Or maybe not. Nato Sapix just sits there with the AWP. I think he's got a nice little angle deep into the lobby. So with them having cleared out this entire part of the map, LPSP just stacked their forces on outside. Spam comes through the smoke. LNZ eats the worst of it down to 29. That's now a second player for the Young Ninjas who had 1 or 2 bullets from fatality. They're so quiet. They're taking their sweet time to go down secret. But it still looks like they want to commit at the lower site, which may not be the optimal play, as 2 CTs have been set up for this for quite some time now. Percy finally locks into that kill on the low HP Chiquinho as they're forced to come out through the double door. And it all depends. This round lives and dies with how they clear out Noten. If he gets 2 kills, consider it done, consider the game over, and consider overpass on the cards. If not, I don't know why I'm not considering. I don't know why I'm even considering that, because NINJAS just probably won them the round. 2 bullets is the difference. They still haven't cleared out Noten on the rafters. A 1-for-1 trade, but ZTR has once again left it an almost unwinnable 1v2. Percy stares at him for a second with a couple of whiffs, but is able to come back. SP really stepped up behind him, so that is also something you could keep in the back of your heads. You know, maybe that's a factor on Overpass. It's going to be way more difficult to find multi-frags across the map just because of how big Overpass is compared to Nuke. Well, the defensive LP has read entirely wrong. They were reading Dr. Seuss while Young Ninjas were reading Moby Dick. So, completely different strat books, apparently, and now they have to play a 5v5 retake, even pushing into heaven. I absolutely adore this. NINJAS getting pressured, and with 2 people in his face, he annihilates both of them. LNZ now stands the test of time to be the last man in the 1v3. A kit on Wagner, he's not the one sticking it. Interesting that he's not, and it's given him a chance now, a new lease on life for the Young Ninjas, as he's just going to play his time, right? He knows he doesn't have to swing in, and what is LP doing, right? Like, they want to stick the bomb. You could hear that's what they wanted to do. Percy even runs up to try to find this kill, but there's just no time. Oh, this could be a big ghost comm, could be a false clear, and Percy, if he walks through, he'll be laying in a world of hurt to this T-side. NINJAS did, under my nose, upgrade to the AWP, but only goes good for 1. Percy, you might want to just lock in this kill, because they're turning around and staring at you. I think we saw another frag come back from Noten over at the B site, so LPSP will walk into this round with a man advantage. Noten sitting in his monster smoke, gonna go straight through to try to push the equation, but Sapech catches him doing so, and now we're right back into an even situation. Very honest spot from the both of these teams with a smoke and 2 flashes. The only thing under the belts of LPSP when it comes to utility, and I like this from Young Ninjas. They don't necessarily make a move. They don't commit one side or the other. They take their time. They slow it down and see if LPSP are going to try to work anything back. I don't think Wagner spotted him jumping on the monster cross, so this could be a bit of a, again, false sense of security for him. Going to continue to walk up monster, though. Sapich isn't going to catch the timing, and now it's left to Rolf 1v2 with half HP. This kid's been a star before, and he'll hear Wagner jump out into short, but can he isolate this pick? That's what he really needs to do. He's going to clear out pit, and as soon as he does, he should understand that he's gone through graffiti. But there's no time to go up to the A site, my friend. You've just got to get this bomb down. He has a smoke, molly, and 2 flashes, but with 10 seconds, he's allowing this flank to really start to activate. SMF, I don't think this bomb's going to be able to go down. Maybe it will, but with him just peppering in bullets through the... Coming out towards B. Percy's been able to strike first onto the A-Lurk and ZTR, but is it going to be enough? Doesn't look like it just yet. Still got to deal with Wagner, and he's in a really uncomfortable off angle to clear out. The 2-man spray down, just barely not there, but still. 1 kill and then 20 HP on LNC is more than worthwhile. The bomb's dropped in the open, but Heaven Smoke separates them from being able to hold on to that. So a 2v3 is now going to incur, planting for Heaven behind the pillar. He's in the open from graffiti, but again, respect shown. We'll lock in that it's going to be a post-plant scenario. Percy flashed in. Flash completely blinds up LNZ, leaving it to Jackson, or to Jaquinho. His NINJAS gives him an audio cue with the op scope. No way, he's isolated the fights! They're just going to go ahead and run it back out at the B site. Nothing really should stand in their way, though they do have a beefy stack here. Actually, Wagner's going to strike first with the CZ-75. They'll burn it away in a Molotov. LNZ will clean that one up. Still NATO looking to put up a fight for the big misplay he made in the ending of last round. Percy now left at 1v3. No, he's still looking to make it a bit costly for the Ninjas as he picks up one with the Deagle. And well, Percy, I don't know if he's going to go cleared in bathrooms. It doesn't look like he will. And here's the big part, because usually when you're coming up to the site through sands, you clear front bathrooms, right? The first person up just gives it a little look in. They don't go this deep. And Percy's already been able to strike 1 and still looks to continue to go off as he gets another one. 1v1s to be isolated, man. You can't let him have this room. LNZ, he'll get the bomb down, but it's still a 1-on-3 that's almost unwinnable. Smoke recovered off of his teammate's fallen corpse as he looks to isolate that onto Percy, which was done to him in the previous couple of engagements, or at least the Young Ninjas in the previous few. Though Wagner, with the first kill going their way, this round may be a bit of a different story from what we've seen in the past few. Util saved for these later engagements, but can't respect him anymore. You gotta go flashing up through this smoke. And a 1-for-1 trade won't help you at this stage of the round. A 2-on-4 is a pretty daunting task to try and overcome for the Young Ninjas. So it looks like they're just going to regroup and maybe call it a day. Because they still, I guess, haven't... No, this is where it gets a bit controversial. Because Rolf is only going to be getting like $1,900. So he's going to be scrapped for cash in the next round. Sapich should be able to buy. And ZTR can drop one. But the util is going to be awful. I honestly think you... maybe try to take it up at the A site, which is what they're doing to their respect. But I definitely would not have liked to see a save from them this early on. Nada Sapix posted up long bathrooms with the op. Shoulder peek given over, and Jaquinho falls. Now it's all up to the lonely ZTR in a 1v4. And if you can bring this up into the next round, fair game. Smoke herd being deployed. Nada Sapix comes back in good. But maybe they can walk away with a little bit of glee. End it off on a high note, who knows? But what better than to end it off with a quick B rush through a monster smoke? They go, and LPSP aren't set up to counter it, but the flashes are good. Noten hasn't been detected, still in barrels. Or maybe he is. We have a couple of spams coming through the smoke. MP9 goes good for one, but Sapich is right back with the trade, and Nada Sapix's AWP is going to continue to strike back and forth. Bomb looking to be planted on the opposite side of the pillar with Percy falling through a smoke of their own. Leaves it up to the op of Nada Sapix. A 1v2 needs to be attempted. And we've seen it from this man in the past. To say this man hasn't pulled off a 1v2 would probably be the dumbest statement I've ever uttered with how legacy or with how long this guy's career has been. But this one may not be another one for the stat books, as they're separated. There's a lot of time he's got to try to take, but he's upgraded to an AK-47 and picked up a Molotov. He may be able to dump a smoke on this bomb. He has a respectable amount of utility to pull this one off, but he smoked the wrong point of attack. So the bomb, not smoked off. 1v2, not planted for the short player, and he's just going to go ahead and stick it. LNZ swings in, knowing this is the case. And great to see the bare minimum, but maybe they can start to turn it around right now. I mean, we saw a lot of comfort, at least on a lot of those T rounds on Nuke. Maybe that translates. So far, doesn't look like that's the case, as they are being pinched in to Fountain. It's like a jail cell, but they decide to break free from it over at the B site. The boost not good for a kill just yet, as they try to establish themselves in pit, which they will. And no kills have been answered back just yet. Heaven Smoke comes through. Now, if Young Ninjas want to try to take that point of attack, they're going to be waiting at bare minimum like 20 seconds. One kid on roll, so his survival is integral to the success of this round, and Sapich at least puts them back on a high note. 5v4s, they look to actually get into the bomb site, jumping around as NTR. What the hell is going on in pit? A 1-for-1 trade. Flashes are still good. This timer starts to tick inevitably low. Smoke onto the bomb, and Rope looks to just stick it. But how many rounds until we start to think, yeah, LPSP might be able to contend for this map? I think they pick up 11 before Young Ninjas can get, like, 13, 14 on the board. It's really just... I'd say that's about it. Then, maybe LPSP can show what they've got. But I still want to see what they've got brewing up on the rifle rounds before I make an assumption. Couple of nice kills from Wagner here in Connector. Walking away with 3. That's a nice extra $1,800 to pick up. A little bit of a bonus for him. I guess the Christmas bonus came in a bit late. Rapich, CZ gets another kill. It's not allowing them to creep up at B, except for last round. Again, we can let that one slip by. Just like that kill, Jaquinho's gone, but it's traded out by LNZ. Still a big loss, though, as that's your op hitting the pavement. And look, remember, these games from the Young Ninjas and Jaquinho is supposed to be like his interim tryout for the likes of the main roster. 8-16 is definitely not an impressive KD to be wielding, to be playing on one of the best teams in the world. And I don't think that's a crazy opinion. Sapich holding on to this map control, dumps the smoke in front connector. Beautifully timed, too, because as the Molotov comes in, it's instantly extinguished. And Young Ninjas are again in this super commanding spot. LPSB have to eat away at this clock just to take water control. Then they have to get onto B. 2 smokes to go in. There's not going to be any to refresh these choke points. Well, that's if they don't smoke off like Graffiti or Bridge or Pit. But they're going to come back up to the upper side of the map and see if they can't test their luck there. LNZ, a well-timed pick onto SMF, sends Disaster striking once again. 2-on-2 defense as you've got Sapich rotating up too. 17 seconds, guys. You've got to make your move. They have to make their play. And there's not any time for them to have errors over at B. Rolf sitting behind the smoke, completely blinded up. All he got to do is stay alive, and this round is done. 5 seconds. Nada Sapix, is he going to get the bomb down in time? He will. So it is a 2-on-2. There's a real chance here for them to contend, but thankfully ZTR says hell. And they still hear players behind this smoke over in bathrooms. Pins are being pulled. Little footsteps are being given over. LNZ, though, that's an audio cue and a half, but he's still able to sneak away a kill with it. The bomb dropped, and that's so much info to give over to his team. He's just got to play his life. Again, it's all about being a rat right there. You're not getting much more, at least in the kill department, so buy time for rotations, why don't you? There's no more time to go back down to the lower site. And ZTR, he hasn't been cleared. Wagner sits behind the smoke, and he's got the bomb on his back. Dropped once again as Jaquinho's AWP strikes fear into their hearts. You let them have 14 so early on. Any rounds you give up is super impactful, right? You can't expect yourselves to not make any mistakes. So, that's just why. Couple of D shots come back. Still respect being shown as Percy's been able to wield an AWP, though their luck's run out as Wolf doubles down and connected. The bomb's dropped, and they're posted up for him to come swinging back in from the stairs. Once again, my favorite saying comes into effect. Last chance avenue for the both of, or rather not for the both of these teams, but for LPSP. We're looking for an answer desperately, but a one-for-one trade is definitely not what they need. Coming up through bathrooms. At least everybody's got an AK now. It's a rifle of choice for the T side. But it still might not be enough. Footsteps are heard. Jaquinho's come up on rotation. Smoke drop. Whoa, they're still burning in this Molotov. It takes a second to pop. And in they come with a couple of low targets to try to take care of outside of truck. Spam goes one way, but not returned just yet. Jaquinho locks in another frag with the AWP. It's all about buying time, and he's somehow able to double up in the chaos they find on the scene. Hotline Miami style, they're about to burst into this B site. A couple of flashes. It's what they've got to get in with. And they land pretty well. I'll give credit to the Young Ninjas in that regard. Their flashes have usually been spectacular and spot on, but this round does not seem to be that way. NaTaSaphix farms up all three of them from the elevated and couple of rounds. So LPSP, on a round like this, why not just stack it? See how it bodes for you. And it should bode them well, as the first kill is about to come through on a USP of all cards. With everything that they invested in, the USP almost finds the first frag. 1v3 as the dust settles, and Jaquinho has to pull off a clutch of a lifetime. 2 MP9s and a P250 to go against, but now NaTaSaphix upgrades himself to the rifle. He's got to wait out their own moto smoke. Sitting in front of us. Wagner in the open and on low HP. He should have died. This is, I'm pretty sure, in the strat book. They know what to do here. I love this play, but they still have to find the kills necessary to lock in the round. Note being given ample opportunities to find frags in pit. You can't let him walk away with a 2K there, and that's why. 3v4, Savage completely blinded up going through the pit smoke, and it's still a one-man advantage for the LPSP retaking side. All of them coming up in this flank, too. Is LNZ going to get caught off? Maybe. He heard a footstep, and I'm pretty sure he definitely heard that. And he spins around to find the frag onto SMF. Now jumping out is that MP9 and Wagner. And it's left to NaTaSaphix in a 1v2. He's going to give this one a bit of a look-see. With LNZ on 2 health, he doesn't have much longer for this world. So if he hits that shot into the site player, a nice connection would be anybody right now who's on 10 kills across the entire server. Nobody's got that margin yet. NaTaSaphix has been a bit quiet. Jaquinho's still stepping it up for the Young Ninjas a bit. Percy strikes first bullet over in lane. Still a 1-for-1 trade as they continue their charge over at the A-bomb site. A flash is good, but only onto their own teammates. As NaTaSaphix still goes undetected behind the double stack at the site. Rolf takes care of the pit player, but as he's blinded up now, it's left to Jaquinho and his op in a 1-on-3. The scope is heard, so you don't really want to give this pick over. Takes a no-scope in. NaTaSaphix drops down. Another no-scope is missed, and he continues to pull a lot of emphasis on banana from both of these teams, or at least from the Young Ninjas. There's some rounds where LPSP aren't even considered. Sit down. Sit down. You're not pulling that against us. Beautiful nade. Wagner still sits here on the corner, and they're probably ready for it. He's always the man here. And LNZ, dude, he is cracking domes this round. Single-handedly rips open that B site. NaTaSaphix, the only man left on the defense. 5-7 in hand. And are they going to go up through this smoke? I'm uncertain, but I wouldn't have been surprised. He tries to play above it, but when it fades, his cover is gone right behind it. Smoke comes through in CT. Mollies bounce over the site. And well, a lot of flash players. Nobody been taken down yet from the CT side. Finally, NATO strikes back, just playing his life over at Newbox. Tells his teammates he needs assistance. The flash is perfect, and the Young Ninjas throw it away. Peaks come into Banana. They know where 2 of these T's lie, one being in T-steps, the other on logs. And they look to work up Banana, scaling up. They have a smoke on the likes of SMF. Contact taken, flash thrown in. Are they going to slow down, though? No, they're not. And they're going to be eating hard for it. ZTR finds the trade, still looking for more as he walks away with a double. Beautiful fadeaway shot, locks them in with a man advantage. Now they have to reimburse themselves towards the A site. The only defender is Jaquinho. Been semi-quiet in this map. Has had his loud moments. This may be another one of them as he hears nothing but footsteps running up to the A site. That's the bomb drop that has to be retrieved. Both of them now cowering on the site itself as the plant looks to come through. In Graveyard, hasn't been cleared. NaVi spins around. Is he going to find the kill? It doesn't look like just yet. And again, playing his life to utter perfection. 1v4 for the stand-in. Swings in the middle. Oh. Couple of nades fly down into T-steps. A tag goes through, and ZTR lucky to walk away with the kill. Percy, bit unlucky, it seems. ZTR's hit the lottery. Rolf, he wants to chip in for a little bit of frags and power of his own. Wagner's been able to bring one back, but one-for-one trades are not the name of the game at this stage of it. They're going to look to hit the A site with the bomb dropped in lane. Jaquinho's tripled up. It's up to Noten with a couple of low targets, one of them being in the likes of Jaquinho. It's not like he can't walk away with doing extra damage, but still, a lot left on his plate. And pushed up aggressively. Nice angles from the both of them, and they both find success with it. 3 on 5 pretty instantly. They thought they had an ace in the hole in double swinging halls, but no. It's Young Ninjas with the ace, forcing them back up to the B site. And now it's time for Savage and LNZ to step up to the plate. One smoke between the two of them, but LPSP, there's no point in dilly-dallying. You know you've got to hit B in the finalized parts of this round. Smoke comes through. There's not even a flash to blind them up, it seems. The only flash that's come through is from the side of LPSP themselves. The tag goes in, but they're lucky to mount themselves control at this site with a little bit of extra damage inflicted onto the lone site defenders. Now it's up to the retake to lock in the success once again for the Young Ninjas. And there's not much util to go around. ZTR, though, as he finds that frag, once again, pressure will be put on to NaVi. His AWP hasn't gotten anything in this round. Flashes come through. Percy's completely blind. I believe they still know NaVi is at the back of the site. And they just, from being thrown into the shadow realm of this game, and they're just going to try to quickly hit up towards Car. This may not be the play, man. Flashes go back and forth, and they're being shut down at the seams. Savage triples up. The bombs drop. Nothing to... But yeah, you think back to Nuke. The story there is just a one-sided affair. You go on to Overpass, and the Young Ninjas flip a switch. It's completely different, and it is not turned off. They have not flicked it back just yet. Taking up Car once again. Savage! He pulls out a molly, and that's how that kill comes raining back in. It's still not that great for them. Continuously dumping in these HEs. Everybody except for one is stacked up on this B-site defense. Percy with a lucky shot through the smoke is just going to have him going straight through it at this point. LNZ's combined for the trade, but the op, Jaquinho's yet to strike back. There it is. And at the most inopportune time for them, Rolf in from pit. He's got to get this kill, but he can't. And now the A-site's wide open for the taking. They have to establish themselves and stop these rotations from coming through. LNZ will be the first to try and get in on it. NaVi takes an extra second to upgrade to the AK-47 as he looks to plant the bomb for Pitt. Or maybe not. The say plant more opportune for him as the flash nade combo comes over. They've smoked off the pits. NaVi is isolated on the bomb site. One of them sits in the smoke. Jaquinho's got to get the trade. Headshot angle is not the name of it, but it's down to a 1v1. Noten, the lurker, against the world. Jaquinho looks to smoke off the bomb. It's not planted for Pitt, so he's probably going to have to take this fight. Turn off X-ray, take the spray. We get to see what both of these players do in real time. 1v1, it's getting so tense, so clutch, and Noten comes out. Nade bounces deep. Make that two. NATO only going to eat the worst of one of them to 83 health. This Jaquinho's posted up for a banana play. Percy sits behind the Molotov, and if that didn't come in, I would not have been surprised if he gave him the peek, but there's a big engagement to be taken. NaVi will fall, and Percy's going to give up his own little angle there. Falling to 14 health. I think he ate the Molotov for a little bit too long. And this could be the round where it's all done and dusted. You can see they're going to go for a B play. But I'd say, Wagner, at this point, you have to regroup with your team. You're relying a lot on your team to just win this individually with their gunfights, but Jaquinho shut down yet another. The recovered op is put back on the ground. Says, I'm the only one who's allowed to wield the one-shot wonder weapon. Lower your weapons, fellas, because you're not going to take me out that easily. 2-on-5 once again, and yet have the Young Ninjas lost a situation like this. Don't think that's going to change now, as the util's not great. They have 1 flash, 1 molly, 2 AKs to make this round a success. Chiquinho spotted one on the cross, and he's been able to be equalized on. Flashbang comes through, and Savage misses his opportunity, but Note can't clap back, and it's all up to SMF. 1v4 with the game entirely on the line. Looks to isolate 1v1 picks. LNZ gives him one of them. NCT is rolled, but the spam connects, and that's the game. The GGs reign through 16-7. And the Young Ninjas, after being down 0-1 in the series, after getting dumpstered on Nuke, clap right back and show why they're never out of a series. 2-1.